What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the special edition of TSR Live. My special guest today, of course, is none other than men's fashion expert, Kevin R. Samuels. Kevin, how's it going, man?
It goes well, my friend. Happy to be back in the towers.
Good, very good. So you and I we've had a number of conversations here over the last, over the last few weeks. I actually talked to you on the phone when I was down in DC, and this is when you and I decided that we were going to start this project of ours. And for those of you, and we're going to go ahead and explain this to you briefly, and then we'll get on the show. Kevin and I are going to be doing a series of shows. We're going to do it the last week of the month. We're going to do it 3 days during that last week of the month. So I guess for now we can plan on doing it, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the last week of the month. I'm sure that'll probably change here and there. But what we intend to do, guys, is we intend to marry up fashion and game, because it's my assertion that you can have all of the fashion sense that you want, but you have to have the game to go with it. By the same token, you can look as great as you want, but if you don't have the game, that's not going to make much of a difference either. Shout out to Lewis Key with the $10 super chat. Shout out to my man ODJ, O'Shea Duke Jackson, in the motherfucking house with the $10 foreign currency. Listen, O'Shea's in a different country every week. I don't know how the hell he pays me, man. But shout out to him for that super chat as well. So go ahead and start things off, Kevin, here. And I'll give my take after you're done with yours. Why do you think that most men disassociate game from fashion? Why do you think they don't put two and two together and say, I need one just as much as the other?
Well, because men don't think of images the same way as women. Same reason our senses. Men do what we find practical. You know, if we're cold, we find fire practical. If we're hungry, we find food practical. Men don't look at shoes and say, you know what, I need shoes to protect my feet. We don't look at shoes in order to say, how will this shoe relate to getting a promotion? We just don't look at it that way. We don't look at image as tools anymore, or ever. And the guys that actually understand that their image is a tool are the ones that actually win consistently, because they're winning the game at a distance and up close.
That's exactly right. And I think that from a game side, you can have all of the game you want. Mm-hmm. But and listen, we hear about broke ass niggas fucking bad bitches all the time, right? Like, man, I heard this broke ass nigga be fucking all these badass bitches. They drive Mercedes and Lexus and this and that and the other. The problem is that the kind of quote bad bitches that these broke ass bum ass looking niggas picking up, okay, these women may look okay on the outside, but those aren't the kind of women that you are ever going to consider to be long-term relationship material. These broke-ass, bum-ass niggas ain't thinking about wifing a bitch up. They're thinking about extracting resources out of these women. They want a quick piece of ass. They want clothes. They want money. Maybe they're going to use that chick's place as like a stash house, whatever the case may be, but it's never for a long-term relationship. They're never for long-term relationship material. By the same token, these women have to have something wrong with them. There's some sort of sexual hangup. Right. The fact that a woman does not respect a quality man when she sees one, the fact that she gives more play to drug dealers, ex-cons, thugs, etc., that speaks to her quality or lack thereof.
Right. And it also speaks to a guy that you will accept a low quality woman. You know, a guy, when his self-esteem is down here, he can't help but project it in his image.
Right.
So just like, I look at your story. When you were 300-pound Donovan, you accepted a different caliber of woman. When you decided to take the red pill and your self-esteem and self-confidence went up, your standards went up for everything. The kind of food you put in your body. Cheeseburgers and stuff may have been better at 300 pounds. You still may do it, but you were in moderation.
Right.
So, and for men, we're visual. We understand we're visual when it comes to women. If we can see a woman visually appealing and make us simp and do all kind of stupid shit, think about a man who can finally see himself as high value, and what would he do to maintain that?
That's actually a good point. And it's also worth noting that a man's confidence is directly tied. Like when you walk out of the house and you know you're looking your best, think of it as like a haircut, right? Like I cut my own hair, I do all that stuff. But when I got a fresh lineup, when my lineup is crispy, when my beard is looking right, I feel confident when I walk out the door, but I don't feel as confident if I'm not dressed in my best threads. Now, I got put on blast early on by Dude Watt 212. He says, Donovan, you don't seem that much into fashion, though. You kind of wear the same T-shirt every episode. And Dude Watt 212 is absolutely right. I don't really have that much fashion sense, and this is why I've reached out to you with this project. That being said, go ahead.
Hold on, and see, I did a show last night talking about, I started what I call the alpha series, how to look like an alpha, and today will be how to act alpha. Alpha guys are, bottom line, they have the rugged style personality. If a guy would have watched my channel last night, you would have understood that alpha men are minimalist, they're frugal, they're simplistic.
Right.
T-shirts are a massive part of an alpha style. Sweaters, hoodies, throw over jackets, jeans, work boots, sturdy, rugged stuff. Anything you could imagine a cowboy wearing, something like that, rugged Americana, tends to fit really well with most alpha sensibilities. Like my style personality is more European. No one associates European men with being hyper masculine or alpha.
Right.
Okay, so just because you have style doesn't mean you're an alpha male, but alpha males always have their simplistic style, because at the end of the day, alpha is about a mindset. You know you're Donovan motherfucking Sharp. You carry yourself in such a way that where you wear a t-shirt and jeans, you're going to get a completely different outcome than if Beta Bob does.
Right, of course.
So I have to make that distinction because, you know, we just like we've convoluted the term alphas and beta, we've convoluted the terms, convoluted what style is and what it means. You know who you are. Now, are there improvements that you could make? Sure. But if I was your stylist, I would make minimal improvements on you because they would be foreign to who you are. I would focus on the fit, I would focus on the quality of the materials, and I would focus on adding a few essential pieces that you may not already have, and they would naturally fit what you're doing and make sense to where when people saw you, they'd be like, oh, that's Donovan. I recognize Donovan, and it fits who Donovan already is because your mindset is already correct. Now, if I went and changed you completely and put you in pastels, bow ties, silks, and shit like that, and it could be high fashion and style, you're like, that doesn't make sense. See what I mean? So guys, that's why I wanted to hit that point, because guys get that one twisted up often. And here's at the end of the day, guys ultimately don't do things we're not comfortable with that we don't know a lot about. A lot of us don't know about fashion and style. We're not good at it. So it's like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just do over here. It's good enough.
And you are costing yourself opportunities by leaving that on the wayside. By the way, we've got a call-in number here. Kevin's kind enough to bring his Blog Talk Radio account to this particular project. The call-in number is 347-857-3847. Guys, no anonymous or unidentified phone numbers. We're only going to answer one question at a time. We don't need 2 and 3 layer questions. Ask a question to either or both of us. And just on that note, what I will say is that with regards to foreign to who you are, right? You don't want to dress a guy like me up in pastels, right? No. Like you don't want, that would be akin to me taking someone who is naturally an introvert and telling them to, you know what, you need to go out and run game on this girl, Donovan Sharp style. My style of game is very bold, very upfront, very forthright, make a lot of eye contact. It's almost like I walk a fine line between almost invading her personal space and intimidating her while at the same time charming her. That is some mental, psychological, next level game shit. That takes a while to get to that point. That being said, you have to have, just like you have to have a style personality, you've got to have a game personality. The same we all know that women are all attracted to the same things, right? Yes, there are different nuances in terms of the skin tone that they like. Do they like black guys, white guys, Mexican guys, whatever. women are all attracted to the same qualities. They're attracted to confidence. They're attracted to good fitness. They're attracted to men who have a commanding presence, know what they want, have goals, etc. This is why men all do the same things to become attractive to women. That being said, we don't have to take the same path to become attractive to women. Some men, in order to get into shape, they might ride a bike. Some men might lift a lot of weights. In order to become more financially savvy, some men may quit his job, start a business. Some men may open up a 401k. With regards to learning games, some men might take the strong silent type and then become engaging later. Some then might take the Donovan Sharp approach. So this just goes to show that fashion and game are directly related in that you can't be who you are not. You're not gonna, you can't, like listen, I had a consult earlier today with a married guy from out in California. And the things that I told him to do, I had to be very specific with him. I said, okay, look, you got to understand that you can't do it like I do. I'm going to give you the map, right? X marks the spot, but you're probably going to have to deviate from the path a little bit to fit your personality. Because if you come at her like Donovan Sharp, she's going to be like, who the fuck are you? Like, what are you doing? And that's going to cause a lot of confusion. And then, of course, things go sideways. So that's exactly why this kind of stuff goes hand in hand. And by the way, shout out to Rob Cruz with the $5 super chat. He says, here supporting, keep dropping that knowledge. Black Mullet 40 also with the $5 super chat. Again, guys, 347-857-3847 with your questions or comments. Go ahead, bring them on.
I will say, let me chime in on what you just said. Last night I talked about a lead up to this, and a huge part of, you mentioned the body,
right?
Your body to be on top, to be a peak physical performance, to be peak physical shape, you need to have your body right. Your body right helps your mind be right, and then Donovan already has the fundamental stuff. You're talking about the level of game. You have next level game. The way you walk up and intimidate women with your rugged personality, I could not do. My version of that would be almost like a vampire game. I would walk up dressed a certain way, and I would use that vampiric kind of glamour thing, but I just couldn't do it rough and rugged. Can you imagine me putting on some Jordans, some Timbs? I mean, put that look on me. I would look as out of place as Hammer did when he tried to go gangster.
You stupid.
But you know what I mean?
Right, of course.
And here's the thing: there's plenty enough to go around. The chicks who are attracted to my stuff may not find your stuff attractive, but the thing is, universally, they will respect all of us.
That's exactly right.
Style, inside your own personality, they'll respect you. And here's the thing: I could never do Donovan, but Donovan respects me because we're here. I respect Donovan, but are Donovan and I alike in style, personality, anything like that? No. And that's where it all roots down to, is a respect thing. And you have to respect yourself first before anybody else will respect you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, the reason I could never be Kevin Samuels is because you're always dressed better than I am. So that's, that in and of itself tells me that that's what's really going on. You said we got a caller.
Yeah, he dropped off the line, so I don't know. 702, call back.
All right, yeah, 702. Oh, that's from my neck of the woods, Las Vegas. 347-857-3847. I am here with Kevin Samuels, launching this project. Kevin, let's tell our audience what we are trying to do here, what the goal here is, how we're going to marry fashion with game. We're going to do three episodes per month. It's going to be the last week of the month. Maybe it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending upon our schedules. But we're going to do 3 episodes every month. It's going to be the last week of the month. Now, technically, this is the last week of the month of January. There's another half week. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do the last full week of the month. This is the last full week of the month. So that's why we're doing our schedule. And of course, we were going to come on yesterday, but of course, actually we were going to start this thing Monday. Kevin had something going on, and then yesterday I had something going on. So we finally got on here. But Kevin, let's try to take our audience inside what the goal of this particular project is.
Well, the goal of this particular project, big picture, is like all the goals of anything in the manosphere, in my opinion, to help guys become the best version of themselves each and every day. And the goal of this particular project is, Donovan and I, we have the same philosophy that, guys, in order to be a complete, well-rounded man, you need to have 3 pillars. You need to have your body right, your game tight, and your body right, your game tight, and your appearance needs to be sharp. It needs to look like you. When a man is doing firing on all three of those cylinders, and then he's on his purpose, he is a self-contained unit that you could drop anywhere in the world and he will be fine. That man can go into any situation confident that he will be cool, successful, such and so forth. So where everything else that comes along in his life, women, opportunities are just add-ons, not necessities. And the reason we want to marry these two things together is because they're common sense extensions of one another. I'm a pro in fashion. Donovan's a pro in game. I mean, I have my game for what I do, but it's not universal. Donovan has more red pill knowledge, and I'm supplementing the fashion thing. Then also, guys look and see two guys that are different. You know, I may have more credibility with one sector. Donovan may have more credibility with another sector. But if we can get guys to finally open their eyes and say, you know what, guys, it's not an either or thing. It's an and thing. It's an and thing. You need game and body and style.
And listen, for those of you guys that don't know, okay, Kevin just said he doesn't, you know, he's not really as up on the red pill game. Guys, don't get it twisted, man. Like Kevin and I, we've told some stories, dude. Kevin can slay some goddamn pussy. Like it's not. Listen, just because he only talks about fashion doesn't mean he can't talk about women. Maybe I articulate it a little bit better than he does. But one thing that I can say unequivocally, I'm not going to say that I don't know how to dress, but I have absolutely. How can I put this? I don't have absolutely zero fashion sense, but there is a lot for me. There's definitely a lot for me to learn in that regard. So I guess go ahead.
Okay. Mek Para. Please replace fashion with career in corporate entrepreneurship. Call in. See, I'm gonna just say this, guys. When you put statements like that in the chat, it presupposes that you know that you're an expert, that you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, call in. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, listen. And again, it's easy for, Deron Brown is in the house. Shout out to him. Deron, this is, we're talking about fashion and game and how they marry up with one another. Deron Brown is going to be starting a project called The Ladies Champion. And he's going to be launching that here pretty soon. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Him and I have talked about that a little bit, but, yes, 347-857-3847. And listen, V for Velian says, I want people who disagree to call in. Hey, if you agree, disagree, whatever the case may be, we want Mek Para to call in because he says, please replace fashion. Replace fashion with career and corporate entrepreneurship. Now, that went over my head, Kevin. What do you take that to mean?
He just did exactly what I said. Guys think it's either or. Fashion, what he's saying is basically take fashion out and replace it with, career and corporate entrepreneurship, because that's more important. Let me tell you something, Mek Para. Before I was a personal image consultant, I'm a corporate image consultant. That means the Morgan Stanleys, the Bear Stearns, the Ernst & Youngs, the Exxons, the BPs of the world hire me to come in and conduct their dress code. When companies have a downturn in profit and they can't understand what happens, I come in and sit behind the glass window while they're interviewing their candidates and their employees. You ever see the movie Office Space when they have the efficiency consultants come in? I'm one of those. I'm one of the people that come in and say, you know what? The reason your sales are off is because, did you notice when you change your work environment from business dress to business casual, you saw a 20% decline right around the same time? Why? Because you're selling Mercedes, and Mercedes don't look like polo and khakis. Mercedes look like suits. What? We went back over the performance and everything else, and the company we didn't realize that just making our employees more comfortable was going to have an adverse effect on our profits. You know why? Because they think just like this guy. They don't see it.
Listen, I would agree with you 100%. Oh, is that him?
No, dude, what is that? Oh, that's one of
Kevin's. That's one of Kevin's bitches calling in. That's what
no. Get over here, chick. Yeah. So that's why, and that's a big part of the reason why guys fail at image. Straight up. That's one of the first question you ask. Why do guys overlook it? Because we don't see the importance.
Right. And if you don't see the importance, you're not going to invest. One thing that you tell me that a lot of your clients, especially upon initial consultation, have in common is that when you ask them, okay, you're supposed to invest in yourself. Your clients always say, well, I do invest myself. Well, your follow-up question is, okay, how are you investing in yourself? They say, well, I got a gym membership and I spent $20 on a polo shirt and maybe $5 on some cologne once. And I maybe I went and got some new shoes. But outside of that, there's no investment. And that doesn't even count as an investment.
Nope. You know, the question is, I say, where are you at and where do you want to be in 5 years? They tell me these lofty goals. I want to increase to 6 figures. I want to do this. I want to do that. All right. How much have you set aside annually to invest in yourself? Cricket ass quiet. Because that's a definitive answer. I set aside 5,000, 4,000. The answer is 0. So what they do is they say, well, you know what? I got a gym membership and I have a subscription audible.com. And I say straight up, that's not investment. That's nothing. If you would have said you had a personal trainer, that's something else.
There you go.
We got to get to the point as guys where we are honest with ourselves, where we are. It's like saying, you know what? I'm thick. No, you're fat. You got to say the truth. And if I say take yourself out of the equation and say you were a business, say you were a $100,000 business, and you say I want to get to $200,000 in 5 years, and I would say show me your business or marketing plan, show me your written plan on how you're going to get there. And you say, well, you know, it'll happen. Good things will happen. It'll all work out. If I were your consultant, would you say that was a wise thing? And guys are always like, no.
Of course not. No.
I'm like, so that's the same thing with your game. We got a call. Let me check to see who's on the line. All right. 385-218. Who's this?
Hey, yeah, this is Deron Brown.
Hey,
D-Dub, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing? I just called in to agree with you. I want to talk a little bit about my process as far as self-development. I actually started self-improvement about, I want to say 3 years ago, and I actually started it mainly because of women. I wanted to improve my game with women. And I realized shortly after a year that when you're improving your game with women, the way you present yourself, it goes a long way with the clothes you wear. And then it also has a strong correlation to business as well. Because I'm actually in the School of Business right now. And as Donovan told you, I'm starting a mobile application. And one of the main things that was communicated to me by my friends and by people within my program was I need to change the way I present myself. I need to change my clothes. And I didn't put, when you're young, you don't put emphasis on the clothes that you wear because you're getting laid, man. I mean, you're getting laid. You see these images of black men on TV, but
why change?
That really dress in a professional manner, man. But I do know that last year when I went to Oakland, California, and I was just walking around casually in my slacks, my button up, that I was getting looks from everybody, all women of all classes, even like the dope things was like, look, people notice when you take pride in the way you present yourself. And I like what you just said about being thick, but really you fat, right? So check this out. When I first started talking to Donovan, I was 234 pounds, and I boxed at the university as well. My weight right now is 195, and I didn't even know I could get down to 195 pounds. I haven't been this light since I was 15 years old, but I just got back from the tailor because I'm looking into the professional world right now. I'm trying to present myself a better way. And when I did that, man, I was thinking about you, Kevin, man. I went, got my clothes redone. I went to Macy's. I bought this, what is it, blue? I'm about to pick it up right now, man. I bought some blue Day Chanel cologne.
Oh, I've got that. I have that.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, man, I agree with you, man. I just called to agree, show you some love, and then, the fellas, they're going to have to wake up eventually.
Cool.
Thanks for calling in. Listen. Dude Watt says, Deron, have you ever heard of the commentator Greg Anthony? You guys look just alike. Of course he has. He's on the West Coast. Greg Anthony played for those unbelievable UNLV teams from back in the early 90s, if you remember.
Right. And see, what he just said, what the caller just said was indicative. When you're a younger guy, you having success. You're in college and you're younger. Everybody's broke.
Right. It's a level playing field.
Physical 85, you're out there in the world, you're not just in a closed environment, you're not on a college campus, you're in the big broad world. You're like Nemo. You're out there and you got to compete. And he said it, everyone was looking at him different, even the dope fiends. Now that doesn't matter, and that's the benefit. Because everyone is looking, you have so much more opportunity. If you still like sisters, go for sisters. But guess what? You'll get a higher quality woman. But the other thing is people are looking all the time for the next leaders in organizations, people that they can work with. And you make yourself stand out. Guys, I see guys in the chat room, you're having a conversation saying you understand personal branding, such and so forth. Call in the numbers in the numbers in the chat room, because you don't know everything. Don't come in. I'm not trying to be rude, but coming into the chat room talking about something that you don't know when you got two experts on is kind of like going to the Shark Tank telling them about business.
Listen, and the thing is that listen, everyone knows my how can I put this, my lack of control when it comes to my temper. That used to be something that I struggle with. I still kind of struggle with it a little bit. And one thing, and I certainly don't mind trolls. I'm not saying that Mekpara is a troll, but he continues to disagree. Listen, you might know your stuff. We want you to come on the air and prove it. Mm-hmm. Call the number 347-857-3847. You can call from a cell phone, landline, call from your grandma's house. You can call on a satellite phone. Right. Call the number 347-857-3847. Debate with Kevin. Listen, Kevin is the foremost expert on branding and personal style. My forte is obviously game. I also dabble a little bit in money with regards to, saving money for the future, things of that nature. And again, just to reiterate what Kevin said, the 3 pillars of becoming the best version of yourself is looking your best, learning game, and fashion. If you have 2 out of 3 of those things locked down, you are already going to be better off than you were before. If you drop 50 pounds, right, and you get your game tight, you're going to fuck better women. If you tighten your game up and tighten your fashion up, you're going to fuck better women. If you lose 50 pounds and you tighten up your fashion, you're going to be good to go. But if you get all 3 down, if you tighten up your game, if you tighten up your thread game, and if you get more physically fit than you've ever been in your life, or at least get on the way, guys, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. You got to, and again, just like Duran said, when you're in your teens and 20s, yeah, we're getting laid left and right. But when you look a certain way, when you look differently, people look at you differently. Now, when we were all getting young, when we were all getting pussy left and right, 20, 21 years old, yeah, a few of the girls were hot, but let's just face it. Everyone was throwing around pussy at that point in time. But when you step up your vestment game, when you step up the way you look, I'm telling you, man, it is a different reaction.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to just lay it out here. Hold on. A lot of my colleagues in image consulting ask me, why are you on YouTube? And why are you talking to those people? Most of my clients started at $250,000 and up. I'm gonna just put it out there. In order to get somebody with my skills and my qualifications, you would normally have to be in the top 1% of earners in this country. I'm like being in the skull and bones. You don't even know that we exist for the most part. We work with NFL players, NBA players, politicians, movie stars, people who are on red carpets, people who have,
people who are on TV in front of cameras.
Exactly, because we don't have to do one thing with those guys. We don't have to argue with them and tell them why this is important. The top 1%, they know what you're debating, Mekpara. They know that my image is important. It's my personal brand. They don't argue the bullshit you're trying to fucking talk about. The top 1%, they know I got to have my body right in order to keep me. I have to have the stamina to do my life. I have to have a body of an athlete because I'm at the top 1% and I'm competing. I have to have my game tight because it relates to my personal and my professional life. Whether you're negotiating with a woman or you're negotiating a multi-billion-dollar deal in Dubai, it's game. And when winners understand they have to have coaches. You don't think that Tom Brady had a throwing coach. You don't think the best pitchers have a pitching coach. You don't think batters have a best batting coach. That's why they fucking win. And that's why guys in the middle tend to lose, because they argue and debate thinking it's either or, because you're too fucking lazy and too stubborn and too know-it-all to take good information from fucking experts in your face telling you what they know. Call in or shut the fuck up.
I would agree. I would agree. And it's funny though. I used to actually have that same mindset. Like when I was fat, I think I was, I don't know, maybe 270 at the time. And of course I was married. Right. And in my mind, I was thinking, man, I really got to lose weight. I got to, for my health and this and that. Listen, my wife wasn't fucking me. But by the same token, I had this mindset, well, she should just love me for me, right? Like she married me till death do us part, for rich or poor, for better or worse. It wasn't until, how can I put this? It wasn't until I had to take a good, hard look in the mirror and say, okay, Donovan.
Say that again. Good, hard look in the mirror.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, you got to take a good hard look in the mirror, and you have to be honest with yourself. You have to say, and the funny thing is, Kevin, and I don't know if you would agree. Obviously, I think that you can probably speak to this more than I can, but why do you think men don't, we've already talked about the fact that men don't really put an emphasis on fashion because they don't think it matters. What would you say is, because I think I know what the second most common excuse is in terms of, I don't want to go out and completely revamp my wardrobe. I think it's a money thing. I think guys at this point are too prideful to say, I don't want to go out and spend the money because I just don't have it. Dude, if money wasn't an issue, we'd all be well dressed, right? We'd all hire a bunch of Kevin Samuels. We'd all go out and buy the most expensive stuff. But I think guys aren't, I think they're too prideful to say, instead of saying, listen, I just ain't got the cash, rather they'll say, well, other things are more important. Nah, bullshit, nigga. That is important. Like, this needs to be done. Just like my fat ass had to look in the mirror and say, listen, your wife doesn't love you for who you are. She loves you for what you are. And what you are is 312 pounds. She ain't going to love your fat ass. That's what it took.
And here's the thing. I would like to say it was pride, but it's really, this hurts because it's more of a self-esteem.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I could hear when you were talking about that thing, she loves me for me. And I could hear Donovan of old dying inside a little bit every time you said that, because your self-esteem was low. You didn't value yourself enough to care for your body, to care for your inside and outside. Look, if a man works and buys a Honda Civic, and if that's all he can afford, that mug is clean, it's sharp,
straight up,
it's such and so forth. Then if he can buy a Lamborghini, it's still cared for the same way. If all you can get is a 1-bedroom flat, but that's your best, but you dig it and you are proud of it, and you take care of it, no different than a mansion. You got to look at yourself like those things. Men care for things we value. Show me your wallet and I'll show you your priorities. You have to be a priority. Fashion may not be a major part, but it has to be a part. Your style personality is all about simplicity. And I'm going to tell you something else. Tom Ford, I love his style.
Right.
When he's not in his $10,000 suits, he wears Fruit of the Loom t-shirts at home. They're just tailored. And so it does not have to cost a lot of money. And that's why I wanted to do this with you, because you give me credibility with guys to say, you know what, that fashion guy, that hoity-toity, uppity stuff, I'm more real, I'm more down to earth. And guys just push it off. You give me leeway to say, no, guys, let me explain to you. You can go buy you a $20 Fruit of the Loom t-shirts and go get them. Make sure they fit. Go from a large to a medium.
There you go.
And then make sure your jeans aren't not skinny jeans, but just make sure they fit. Just make sure they fit. And if you're going to wear tennis shoes, wear some Stan Smiths. But try this. Put on a pair of Chelsea boots or some double monk strap shoes and a belt, and then throw on a nice watch and spray some Bleu de Chanel on. Just go out that way one day and then watch what happens. And you come back home like, what the fuck? People were all over me. People were nice. I got
like, look, look, I got 2 bitches at the house. I don't even know how they got here, right?
People start doing nice stuff for you. You go to get Chick-fil-A. Next thing you know, you got 14 nuggets in your 12 nuggets. And it's like, my life, I get
real talk, man. Real talk.
I get free stuff. People are just nicer when I'm dressed, and even when I'm in a t-shirt. That t-shirt, you could easily go throw on a nice corduroy or tweed blazer, and you look like,
oh my God, $1 million fucking dollars, man.
That's it. And you're out and about. Let somebody be in trouble. Excuse me, sir. Do you know how to get such and so forth? Why? Why are they asking you versus everybody else? Because you look like a man.
Right. Because you look like you're pretty fucking important. You look like you know what the hell you're talking about. Dude, what? Dude, 12 with the burgers and fries. Yeah. I had a real quick question here from For Life One Deep One says, what is the best affordable watch to buy?
The best affordable watch to buy is a Timex Weekender.
Okay.
It's like $29. There's also a watch, I think it's called the Seiko 105. It's like about 150 bucks. Guys, you see this watch I have? A metal band chronograph with a black face. Simple, whether it's Rolex or whether it's Escape. Just looks good all the time. We got one caller in the call queue.
Let's do it. I think this is your boy.
Hold on. 443-732. Who's this? Oh, you got too much noise in the background.
Hey guys.
Hello? 443.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, can I hear you?
443-732.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's your first name, caller? Yeah, we can hear you. All right. There he goes. Yeah, guys, do us a favor. When you call in, make sure you are in a place where we can hear you.
Right. Turn down your radio.
Turn down your radio. Don't be on speakerphone. Don't be on speakerphone. Okay, so you had a question where? Oh, that was a question about Chelsea.
Yeah, that was the question about the best affordable watch to buy. Now, Lorenzo Davis says he started buying his suits at Hollywood Suit Outlet. Now, I don't know anything about Hollywood Suit Outlets, but suits are obviously a very important part in a man's overall game. So let me ask you this. How many suits should a man own, if any? Or if a man can't afford, a $3,000 Italian suit, what are the best what elements of a suit what should you keep in your wardrobe at all times?
Okay. First of all, every man needs to own one suit.
Okay.
It needs to be charcoal gray, which is so dark it's almost black. It can be worn in formal situations. It can be worn because you're going to have a wedding, a funeral, an interview, or something to go to all the time. That's what you need. It needs to be 2-button and classic. Guys, when you go to places like Hollywood Suit and all that other kind of stuff, I think you're wasting I know you're wasting your money unless you have your fundamental suits. If you have a well-cut, tailored, dark charcoal gray suit, almost black, then if you have a black suit, and then you have a navy blue suit, those are the 3 basic suits any guy should need after he has his one fundamental one. Then after you get up to your 3, if you want to go out and buy fashion suits for one season at places like Hollywood Suit, all for it. But those are not to be worn those are to be worn on cruises and on vacations.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. Because here's the thing. Most guys will go to a department store and they'll buy a suit off the rack, and we think tailoring is getting the waist done and the pants cuffed. That's not it. You would be better off going online, ordering a $400 suit from Suit Supply, custom fit to your body, and it looked like a $5,000 suit.
That's the important thing, right? Is the fit. The better it fits, the more expensive it looks, right?
The better it fits, the more expensive it looks. It's all about fit with the suit. I can show you a $10,000 suit that does not fit well and it looks like shit. I can show you a $200 suit that I got that fits immaculately and you think it's a $10,000 suit. So guys have to stop doing this other one. We always look at price. We buy price, and we need to be buying on value.
Listen, guilty as charged right here. I'm not going to act like I'm not guilty of this. I look at the price, and listen, I hate spending money, man. It fucking sucks. And that's the first thing that I do is I look at price. So what do you say to ignorant motherfuckers like Donovan Sharp who gets sticker shock when he sees that he's got to pay $150 for good dress shoes? What do you say to that?
Well, I say Donovan understands. I have to tell him you take a step back and tell him, number one, you're like most guys, so don't feel bad. Number two, Donovan, understand it's simply impossible to make a quality pair of men's dress shoes for $150 or less. The materials are just too expensive. So I need you to use what I call the rule of 3 when we talk about investment pieces. Okay. So the rule of 3 basically says this: take whatever you think something that's nice should cost and multiply it by 3. So if you think $150 is a lot for dress shoes, multiply that by 3. That's $450. That's about where you should start looking for shoes retail. Now, most guys who say, wait a fucking minute, I wouldn't spend $150. Why would I spend $450? I say, this is why you do it. If you can find a $450 pair of shoes at a discount, you get those, but you don't go buy 15 pair of shoes. You buy 5 shoes. So
Okay.
better to have 5 shoes that are $450 retail than 15 shoes that are $150. Because guys, we look at because we think more is better. We think more is better and cheap is good when it's really the opposite. Less is better because you're minimalist, and quality communicates. Because number one, I did a broadcast one time with O'Shea, and he talked about, and I was talking about this point. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I went and bought this $60, $70 pair of shoes, and they look good and everything else. And then 2 months later, they were all creased and such and so forth. After 6 months, I'm gonna have to replace them. I'm like, yeah, $150 pair of shoes. You'll be replacing those every couple of years. I have shoes.
Yes. You've had them for like 3 decades and they look exactly the same.
That's it. So, and that's the thing, guys. It's not everything, but your shoes are the foundation of your outfit. I need guys to think of themselves as the business and a house. The most important thing in a house is the foundation. If you get the foundation right, the house is steady. You can have a great looking outfit, but the shoes are fucked up. And I'll tell you why. You can borrow me and Donovan go out in Vegas. Donovan's my boy. Donovan can borrow my car. Donovan can borrow my crib. Donovan can borrow my credit card, but Donovan can't borrow my drawers and he can't borrow my shoes.
Okay.
Because we wear different shoe sizes.
Of course.
And that's the thing. So people instinctively look at shoes, in particular women. Women look at your shoes. First, they look at you at a glance, look at your silhouette to see if you have a muscular or masculine silhouette. They go directly to your shoes at a distance. Directly. It's hardwired into them. Guys also look at them also as far as for status. Go hang out with some captains of industry, people who are movers and shakers. You will notice they always have great shoes.
That's right. That's exactly right. And listen, on the game side, and oh my God, dude, I could talk. We're going to have to end this here in about 10 minutes. We have a lot of questions that people have asked. Guys, we're going to be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. We're going to be taking questions live on the air. We're going to give you the same call-in number. A lot of questions that we're not going to be able to get to. I'm going to save these questions for tomorrow, or you guys can call in. That's the best way to do it. What I will say is this, as far as shoes are concerned, before I even met you, I knew that women assign value immediately. Immediately by the way you look. And the first thing women look at are shoes. I have fucked countless strippers. I've dated so many more. Listen, every stripper I've ever dated had cheated on me. Do not date strippers. Fuck them and chuck them. Do blow with them. Do nasty things with them. Don't do anything more than that. But what they always do, all strippers are looking for that one meal ticket. They're looking for that one guy who's going to play Captain Savaho, that one 8-figure nigga, right? Who's going to be dumb enough to wife her ass up. But she's not going to just go with anybody. She's going to make sure you're a high roller. And the one thing that all of these girls tell me, they say the first thing we look at when we look at a whale, which they define as a man with a lot of money, are his shoes. If he is wearing, and listen, women of value, in other words, not women of value, women of high value meaning hot women. Hot women know their shoes. They know their fashion. They know the difference between a Walmart special and give me an expensive pair of shoes, Kevin.
Ferragamo.
Ferragamos, yes.
Brioni.
There you go, rattling on. They know the difference. They know the difference between the contenders and the pretenders. That's the difference. I knew back then that women assign value specifically on the way you look at first glance. If you got on the right shoes, guys, I'm here to tell you, you don't even have to have the tightest game. If you got on a pair of Ferragamos, dude, half the work is done already. Am I right, Kevin?
Dude, wait till Friday's show when it's mostly Q&A, and I tell you how I got into running an escort service.
Stay tuned for that. This is good.
I was hanging with senior vice president of Exxon, senior vice president of BP, guys who were making multiple millions, closed door, velvet rope parties that were so far off the grids. I got in there based solely on my image.
Absolutely. Shout out to TNM says, do not do coke. Listen, man. Listen. This is part of the reason I moved away from Vegas. Listen, man. Listen, if I can just keep it real here, dude, cocaine is the greatest and worst thing ever, man. So had to get out of there. But just like you said, like all jokes aside, just like you said, you ended up, and we've had this conversation before, you ended up running an escort service, 9s and 10s everywhere. Dude, password type shit, the little slot, password swordfish, whatever the case may be. Guys, I'm here to tell you.
Michael Lloyd, fuck you.
The dude needs to fix the hanger bumps before telling us to pay. I have no idea what hanger bumps are.
He's talking about where my traps are on my. See, these are the kind of dudes that fuck up.
Hating ass niggas.
I mean, and I can't be mad at him because you can tell he's a simp or a punk because he doesn't even have his avatar. So
right.
I mean, really, look at his shoulders. Look at my results, bitch. Who were you? You got a smiley face.
Bro, I'm gonna put you in time. I'm gonna put him in time out. Michael, if you say one more thing and not call in, I'm gonna ban you.
But I like guys. See, I like guys like this because they show you why other guys stay in the middle. And guys like Michael Floyd love for guys to make fun of fashion and style because it makes it easier for him to be a fat, lazy, ugly slob and get no results. Well, we're trying to tell guys to become the best version, and you can always tell a hater or a punk ass dude because he wants to come in and attack the messenger,
right,
even if the message is valid. I love guys like this because they show you exactly where you're going from and the kind of guy you're going to be going to. I love Michael Floyd's.
Listen, Michael Lloyd is the before.
Yeah, exactly.
He is the before.
Because he's the guy that before we really took a hard look at ourselves and we would sit back, man, look at that old sissy old Carlton ass dude. Look at that old white talking motherfucker. Look at that old dude that's simple over there. And like basically saying, damn, I wish I had the balls enough to make change in my life.
Yes.
See that I love guys like that. Please keep coming back. Keep coming back because we need haters because haters tell you're on the track of something good.
Listen, haters, just like you said, haters, especially like Michael Lloyd and the other guy, whatever the fuck his name was, those guys give us those guys are like a cautionary tale. Mm-hmm. This is what you will become if you discount what we're trying to tell you, right? Listen, we're not saying we have all the answers, but we've been in our respective fields for quite a while. And I'm not a fashion guy, but I can tell you from experience, if you dress better, your life will be better. Listen, you change your body, you change your life. You change your wardrobe, you change your life. That's how it works. Shout out to Sauce Chapo, says shout out from Australia. Good to see you in here. Said someone drop the Streamlabs link. Let me drop that in here for you right quick. Kevin, before we kill this episode, because I got to do TSR live here in a little bit, anything additional that you would like to add? Maybe give a preview of tomorrow's show, unless we just want to keep it a surprise until then, because tomorrow's show, we're going to be dropping some bombs as well.
Guys, what I want you to remember is ultimately this is going to be an ongoing series. Somebody said it earlier. Game and style were taking over the game in 2018. Fashion, your image, your appearance, and your body are critical to you as a man. You don't have to have my style personality. You don't have to have Donovan's style personality. This is about helping you reach your best level. So even if you don't think you're a fashion guy, even if you don't think you have the money, you don't think you have the budget, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not about money. It's about a mindset. You need to be the best at your current level and keep graduating. That's all I want you to do. So hang in there, roll with us, and learn. Guarantee you this. Stick with it for about 30. Ride with us over this week.
There you go.
And you'll see and implement just a couple of the things, just like wearing a fragrance every day, and then prove us wrong. Prove us wrong after you try it, but don't presuppose anything. That's it.
No, I totally agree. Guys, we're going to end the show now. Listen, tune in tomorrow exactly the same time, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 Central. I think that's 1 Pacific. We're going to be right back here. I want you guys to call in, right? Listen, just take your cell phone, call in, turn down your radio, turn down your internet, and we will. And like I said, we're going to do this 3 times a month. We're going to do this on the last full week of every month because, and the reason the reason we decided to do this project is because we can't put this off anymore. Mm-hmm. The correlation, the relationship between fashion and game, it can't be denied anymore. You cannot tell me that a man doesn't have to look the part to play the part. You can have you can have all the game in the world. Okay, you're going to fuck more girls than the average man, sure enough. You can look as good as you want. You're going to have more opportunities than the average man. We don't want to be above average, guys. We want to be exceptional. And that's why we decided to start this project. Kevin, I appreciate your time. I will see you back here tomorrow, my friend.
Appreciate it. Peace out, fellas.
All right, guys.